Sam at Unity of Wichita, and this is our 5th, can you believe it? Our 5th episode in the Lenten series here for the year 2020. And you know, the Lenten series is focused on the Lenten season, all about going into prayer, going into introspection, reflection, and seeing those parts of you, those behaviors, those actions, habits, and thoughts that no longer serve you, and letting them go. Releasing them that they may serve another great soul somewhere. Because we know that there is no closing or ending of energy. It's just simply shifting. So as we are shifting these things that no longer serve us, we are also filling those voids with those affirmations of thought, behavior, ideas that are serving us, that are relating to our highest good, or as Charles Fillmore would put it, our Christ selves, our Christed nature. So as we started this series, we were looking at affirmations and denials. So for example, I was denying the thoughts of criticism that would come up in my mind, and I would affirm the Christ nature in all, letting go of those judgments and ideals of separation between me and another great soul. So then we started diving into prayer and what prayer means, and the best ways to approach prayer in an affirmative fashion, that we are not affirming the lack or the problems, but rather we are affirming the underlying truths, the spiritual truths that carry us throughout our lives here in this time and space. We also went into the ideas of action, taking action, what we can do. Eleanor was here last week in episode 4 talking about mindful awareness. As we are in this experience of 2020 in the United States of America right now, we are experiencing the idea of physical distancing. The word in the media is social distancing, but really, in this world of social media, web series, social distancing is not appropriate. Because we are socially connecting. Just as this ministry is still open, the building is closed. So we're continuing to reach out to one another. And today, I'm excited about having my friend, Bella Dessa, who is a practitioner here in the city of Wichita, and she facilitates individuals in seeking out the healing within themselves. Being a personal client of hers, I can tell you that what she does is very similar to the Lenten season, allowing one, guiding one, if you will, to go within and see those aspects, those parts of themselves that are not serving any longer, that we can release and thank for their service. So today is all about healing. It's all about healing because that is the true nature of Jesus' journey. The nature of Moses and Elijah, as well as we explore those different layers of healing and possibility within the human experience. I know you can hear her over there getting ready. Because we are observing the physical distancing recommended by medical professionals around the world, I'm going to step out of frame and Bella Dessa is going to step in. And I'm so excited for her to share her wisdom with all of you. Bella?
Thank you, Samantha. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about this. It's something that's dear to my heart. So healing can happen in basically 2 ways. One, we have an experience that we would call a crisis, or an extreme insight, a startling experience, that as we reflect on that, or as we go through it, we go, wow, I didn't know that that was in me, I didn't know I needed to change that. Another way of healing is the conscious way that we're going to talk most about today, making a choice to allow and support self-healing. And that's all there is. We can have helpers out here around us, but the healing is always self-healing. You've heard the phrase, oh, it's not all about you. Well, in healing, it is all about you. We've been told, and every master that talks about healing helps us understand that every physical ailment, distress, dis-ease starts with something unresolved, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. And because we chose this path of bringing the divine into form, then our physical bodies become a storehouse for all of our emotions, for all of our experiences, and it's also an alert system. And the body tells us, often before the mind, that there is something going on here that we are being called to pay attention to. So there is kind of a cycle of healing, or some steps that are involved in all healing. And so I've given names to those today. You may identify them as ways that you've used in the past. The first one I listed was awareness. We have to become aware within ourselves of, oh, I have an ache or a pain, or a disease, or I have a fear of something, or there's these kind of people that keep coming into my life. We call them master teachers, because they lift up for us that which we need to address within ourselves. But maybe there's a repeating pattern that you do that you're not happy about, that doesn't really serve you. So the awareness of something going on that causes us distress one way or another. So once we are aware of it, the next thing to do is to move into non-judgment, because it's there for a reason. We actually brought it to ourselves because at some level, we said, okay, I want to move beyond this. I want to do things differently. I want to feel better about myself, or about humanity, or about the earth. And in that non-judgment, it's important to be completely and be willingly letting go of any meaning that you may have attached to that issue. Good, bad, ugly, beautiful. Let go of that entirely. Because if you keep that in there, it's going to interfere with going to the next step, which is aware self-examination. Aware in here. Aware of your thoughts. Aware of your internal judgments about those thoughts. Aware of what happens in the physical body when you have those thoughts, or when you have those fears. And in my working with folks, often they are unaware of what the body's telling them. And through questioning, helping them relax about whatever it is they want to work on, then they become aware. And, oh, yeah, it feels like this here. Or it's this sensation in my head. Self-examination. And another question to ask in self-examination is, how am I benefiting from hanging on to this? Because originally, whatever the issue is, originally we put it in place for a very good reason. We did not know at the time, or even think at the time, that maybe this isn't going to be good for me to hang on to forever, but that doesn't make any difference. That's part of the non-judgment. So, for example, you may have put it in place so that you would feel safe, or so that you would be accepted by others, or because you're afraid of what it's going to be like for you in this lifetime if you let go of it. All of those are good reasons for us to hang on to it, but are they serving us at this point in our growth and our evolution? And then once you've got all of that information for yourself, there are many tools or processes that you can move yourself through or have others help you to release the energy of that issue from your body, from your mind, from your emotion, and from your soul or spirit. So we have aromatherapy, we have sound therapy, we have water therapy, we have massage, we have the tapping, we have energy work of all kinds that folks can do. We have yoga, we have prayer, we have meditation. Those are just a few of all of the things that are out there. Even going to someone and having them hold sacred space for you and ask questions and affirm you can be very helpful when you're dealing with something that is extremely emotional for you. And then, once you've gone through those processes and you're reflecting on, well, why the heck did I even hang on to that? It's extremely important and very much a part of the healing process for you to move into forgiveness. Forgiveness of yourself and forgiveness of others. The thing that I recommend the most in terms of forgiveness is using the Ho'oponopono. It's a very simple 4-statement thing, but it is very effective. And as you say it, it sounds like you're forgiving them, not yourself. But because of the way the process works, it allows you to forgive yourself and forgive others. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And repeat that. Okay, so experiences and issues are recorded in layers in our body and in our experience. Each layer needs to be released and healed. And I have said it, and I've heard other people say it, why am I dealing with this again? I thought I had taken care of it. Well, that's why. Because we have no idea the depth of some of these things that have built up within us, because we can bring them from other lifetimes. So complete healing for you and for anybody else requires releasing the issue and its energies at the physical level, at the mental level, at the emotional level, and at the spiritual level, so that your entire being then can move forward more fully in your divine self as you intended to be when you came into this. I wish you much happy healing.
Thank you, Belladessa. You know, I feel so fortunate to be part of a community where people like Bella exist. People who come into this space and remind us to be gentle and loving to ourselves as we process through physical, emotional, and spiritual challenges. One of my favorite parts about Unity of Wichita and the Unity movement in general is Myrtle Fillmore. She is considered the mother of Unity. She and her husband Charles were the co-founders of the Unity movement. And Myrtle Fillmore has her own personal healing story that I would encourage you to explore. But because of that, she has some wonderful quotes that I'd like to share with you today that really support what Bella has shared with us. We must get at the causes of inharmonies, remove them, and establish a new and perfect pattern and plan of action, which is exactly what Belladessa said to us today, isn't it? That we acknowledge, we become aware, we let them go, and we forgive. That's our plan of action. So as we face this journey of coronavirus in 2020, we are facing together as humanity a healing process. And please know that as we go through this and we share viruses amongst humanity, that we are forgiving one another, that we are forgiving ourselves, and that we are moving into that very presence of crucifixion, of letting go, just as Jesus showed us, and stepping into the renewal of love, peace, and the understanding that God is with us always. With that, friends, I tell you, have a wonderful day. Live in peace, and we will see you for episode 6 next week, the end of Lent. And just remember, because I'm a crazy person, I want to do 2 more weeks focused on renewal. So we'll see you then. Be well. Have a great day.